Hello, the problems I'll be working this week are related to Unit 2, and if you can't see me very well, it's because I am not only doing the lecture, I'm doing the camera work also. So bear with me, I'm going to do the best I can. First problem let's look at when we have, say, a root or a radical sign, say the cube root of the cube root of x plus 3 equals 5. When I have a radical sign, what I want to do is I want to isolate that radical sign first and then solve. So on this one I would subtract 3 from both sides and I would get the cube root of x equals 2. Now, once I have that radical sign isolated, I want to raise to the power of whatever root it is. So in other words, this is a cube root. I want to raise each side to the third power. Okay? Anytime I raise a cube root to the third power, I get just what's underneath the radical sign. If it were a square root, I would square it. If it was a fourth root, I would raise it to the fourth power. But the key is I'm going to get just what's under the radical sign when I raise it. So I get x. Now 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2, or 8. So I have x equals 8. And that is my final answer. All right, let's look at one that's a little different. Sometimes students have a real problem with equations with fractional exponents. And they're really not that bad. If you'll just remember a simple rule. Let's say I had x to the x to the 3/2 equals 125, okay? X to the 3/2 equals 125. When I have a situation like this, what I want to do is raise each side to the reciprocal of this exponent. And remember, just as a reminder, a reciprocal is just if you have that one's not working. If you have, say, a over b, the reciprocal of a over b is b over a. So in this case, I'm going to raise each side to the 2/3 power. Okay. So instead of x to the 3/2, I've got x to the 3/2 to the 2/3. Then I'm going to raise 125 to the 2/3. Now I'm going to have x. When I have a fraction to a fraction here, or a power to a power, I multiply them. And I have 3/2 times 2/3 is 6 over 6, which of course is going to end up being just x to the first power, which is what I'm shooting for. Now 125 to the 2/3. The bottom part, the 3, is a root, okay? So the third root of 125, and this means I'm going to square the whole thing, okay? All right, now, the cube root of 125, if I put that in my calculator, I'll find out what times what times what equals 125. Well, that's a 5, okay? I still have to square it, so x is going to equal 5 squared, or x is going to equal 25. All right? So that's my final answer on that one. Now, let's look at another one. Let's look at one where I have fractions within the equation. All right, let's say I had, 2/3 equals 3 minus 2x minus 1 all over x plus 1. Now, I have in the denominator, I have a 3 and an x plus 1. What I'm going to need to do is clear that. And what I need to do is multiply both sides by the least common multiple. Well, that's pretty easy because I've got a 3 and an x plus 1, so I'm going to have to multiply each side by 3 times x plus 1. 3 times x plus 1. If you can't see it, we'll pick it up here in just a minute. When I do that, now I'm going to get, here on the left, I'm going to get 2 times 3 times x plus 1 all over 3. Over here on the right, 3 times x plus 1, I'm going to get 3 for this 3 times 3 again times x plus 1. Then I'm going to get minus 2x minus 1 over x plus 1 times 3x plus 1. Now, you say, Brent, If you can't see it all, we'll get it in just a second. These are going to cancel out. That 3 will cancel out and leave me with 2x, 2 times x plus 1. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 1 is plus 2. Now here I've got 3 times 3 times x plus 1. So that's 3 times 3 is 9x. I have 3 times 3 times 1. So I have 9x plus 9. Now over here I've got minus. This x plus 1 will cancel out and give me just 2x minus 1 times 3. Remember that this is in parentheses because I've got a negative on the outside. So that's going to end up giving me 2x plus 1 equals 9x plus 9 minus 6x. And this minus a minus makes that plus 3. So I end up getting 2x plus 2 equals 3x plus 12. And I'm going to go back up here at the top so you can see what I'm doing. It's a nice thing about having a board. All right, let's see. So I've worked it all the way to the point that I have 2x plus 2 equals 3x plus 12. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And I get 2 equals x plus 12. Now I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. And I get x equals negative 10. Well, I end up with a negative 10 on the left. I don't want to confuse you. Still the same thing. X equals negative 10 because 2 minus 12 is negative 10.